I didn't really post much about my Jeep SRT 2015 because I really didn't think anybody actually cared. But there was a surge of views on my YouTube for my Jeep review, even though, strangely enough, there wasn't a surge right away for my Hellcat reviews that I got the 2016 Charger Hellcat. I was a little bit surprised about that. But very simply, I guess it's because there's people who are interested in buying a new Jeep SRT this year. And as I already stated in the full review that I did of my new truck, the SRT Jeep solves a lot of problems with the SRT engine, namely the fact that there was no optional all-wheel drive in car form, and that you absolutely have to buy the Jeep in order to get access to all-wheel drive. All-wheel drive in the Jeep SRT gets you from 0 to 60 in 4 seconds using the launch control button. Now, the new 2016 model, which I think they're going to keep most of the interior the same when they introduce the Hellcat within a 2-year period. Right now, Chrysler's actually saying that they're going to have a Hellcat, but right now it's technically confirmed, but if they have, it's going to be called a Trackhawk. No one really knows exactly what's going to happen, but it's pretty simple to believe that they're actually going to do what they said, and they're going to put the 6.2-liter supercharged Hemi into it, giving it a 707 horsepower advantage over just about every single German performance SUV there is right now. As the Germans continue to downsize their trucks and give them twin turbo V8s rather than larger engines, it looks like the Jeep will probably end up being probably the most powerful SUV crossover, whatever you want to call it, on the market. Considering the fact that my Charger Hellcat cannot be driven on ice or snow, and the fact that the Jeep gives you all-wheel drive and it gives you pretty much all-season tires that can actually handle ice and snow, I would assume that the vast majority of Hellcat buyers will ultimately choose the Jeep, just like the vast majority of SRT buyers are either choosing the Jeep or the Challenger or the Charger, specifically not choosing the 300 simply because I guess they figure the 300 it costs too much or whatever it is, but they choose the Jeep more than they choose the 300. As far as pricing goes, my Jeep came with every option except for the rear seat televisions. I don't take road trips. I fly when I go long distances, and I don't really like driving extremely long distances. So I didn't need it. I don't also have children, so the thing about it is I really didn't need rear seat televisions. But the Jeep price ultimately came out to $72,000 before you factor in my extended warranty, which obviously is transferable since it's under Mopar. If you are going to wait and get a 2016 model, there's a new shifter that you probably already saw on some of the other Jeep models, like the smaller Cherokee. And the beautiful thing about this shifter is, for one thing, it doesn't come close to your leg. And second, it also includes an SRT button, which automatically takes you into the SRT functions. My guess is when the Hellcat Jeep comes out, it will also use this exact same setup, simply because they probably won't want to have to go back and redesign any of the console. My question is whether or not it would be possible for people who have the current 8-speed electronic shifter to shift over to this mechanical shifter. Possibly, I doubt they'll do a recall, but I wonder if you could pay some money and just get the new shifter and have it installed in your older Jeep. My Jeep came with the Goliath multi-spoke wheels, which I actually really like. People have been commenting on my wheels and they're saying, wow, I really like those wheels. I want to get wheels like that for my car. They're really good looking wheels. And when I first saw these wheels on the Jeep and they first came out, one of the things that made me make sure that I had wheel locks was because, people were actually stealing them. So, I keep my cars locked up in a garage so that pretty much can't happen. And they're pretty much under surveillance when I go to work. The new 2016 Jeep comes with a new set of wheels, which I really feel are ugly. If you take a good look at them, they look a lot like the older Goliath 5-spoke multi-wheels, but the only problem is they just look too plain and they just look weird. As they are $300 more than the Goliaths, I would rather just take the older Goliaths. So that's basically it. The 2016 Jeep SRT. For $75,000, you get a truck that outperforms the vast majority of the German competition that would cost you over $100,000. And pretty soon you'll have a Jeep Hellcat to choose from, which will probably give you a $100,000 Jeep Grand Cherokee that will easily outperform just about everything else. So I guess the question is, who's waiting for the 2016 or who's waiting for the Hellcat? I already know I'm getting the Hellcat. The only question is, when will it appear on store shelves and when will I be able to turn the key?